Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! The sunset is quite lovely this evening. It hasn't set quite yet, but it is quite lovely, and I'm so honored to have you here watching this video with me. Thank you so much for finding me on your journey through the woods every single night. It really is an honor for me to create these videos for each and every one of you because I believe you deserve to hear something nice about your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars, and I just wanted to be that guy to give it to you. I just wanted to be a part of your lives. I just wanted to be a part of your hearts. Thank you so much for opening up your heart and making me the voice of Descendants and Zombies for the past 10 years. It has been a decade that I will never, ever forget. From the very first Descendants movie that premiered on July 31st, 2015, we are coming up on the 10th anniversary of an unprecedented decade of magic with Descendants, and I'm inviting you to join me for a commemorative video where I will take a look at the original Descendants cast, the trilogy that impacted all of our lives so significantly and left a forever imprint on all of our hearts, the success of the rise of Red nearly 6.5 years after the finale of the Descendants trilogy, the death of Cameron Boyce, and every moment that touched your heart in so many unique ways. The video will be uploaded at some time on the 31st of July this year to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Descendants, and I would love for you to be a part of it. There are so many memories of Descendants as Descendants fans from the past and the present have that they never ever forget. Perhaps it's the memory of Cameron Boyce, or how Mal's character portrayed by Dove Cameron was such a powerful representation of Maleficent's daughter. There are so many memories that the Descendants franchise has left us with, and there are so many memories yet to create, and I just wanted to be a part of every single one of them for each and every one of you. How this all started with me was I heard all the negative reviews that Ryan McCartan and Dove Cameron's relationship were receiving. 10 years ago, when I was somewhere in the world where I didn't want to be, people were sending me emails all the time about it. I took it under consideration and I started reviewing it on YouTube. And here I am less than 1 year later with over 3,000 subscribers uploaded on this YouTube channel and over 100 plus new videos uploaded for you guys in my archives. I don't deserve to have 3,000 subscribers, but for some reason you guys have made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, and it has been an honor of mine, an incredible honor of mine to have been bestowed upon me. And I've had a lot of honors over the years. I've had everything happen for me. I've seen being inducted into the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in New York. I worked with the World Wrestling Federation in 1996. I did a lot with entertainment and vampire TV shows years ago, including Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Boy Meets World, Baywatch, Nickelodeon's Incredible Story Studio. I had a lot happen to me, and I had a lot happen to me personally too, with the death of my mom with cancer in 2006. We didn't even know she had it. She was diagnosed. That was the year after Kylie Cantrall was born. And as far as I'm concerned, Kylie Cantrall is my mom reborn as a beautiful soul. And there isn't a song, I don't think, that Kylie Cantrall, not a melody that Kylie Cantrall can't sing perfectly. I love her so much. And I love how she inspires so many of you. That's why it broke my heart when I heard about how she was being criticized for not having a political point of view when it came to Donald Trump. She was asked to express it, and it went as far as to her having to go on her TikTok account and explain why she wasn't a Trump supporter. As far as I'm concerned, anybody out there that supports Donald Trump is literally out of their mind. And I say that because of all the decisions he's made, the executive decisions he's made as the President of the United States. So why should Kylie Cantrall support Donald Trump? I've worked with a lot of people that know Donald Trump personally, and it wasn't fun. In my career, I've been very fortunate. And one of the honors and blessings I've had bestowed upon me is having the opportunity to create all these videos for each and every one of you. It's been one of the greatest joys knowing that somebody hits the subscribe button, runs their finger over my subscribe button every night for all these videos that I upload every time the sun sets. I love creating videos around the time the sun sets because it allows me to think about things and put things into perspective perhaps better than any other YouTube creator out there. One of the greatest joys and honors that I've had bestowed upon me is being able to create YouTube in a time when YouTube wasn't really as popular as what it is now, and so many creators weren't on the platform. And now this is the exclusive home for creators who want to aspire to be something greater in life by uploading videos sometimes that don't make any sense. And what I mean by that is everybody's just uploading Descendants and Zombies videos that make no sense whatsoever to the people who want to just hear something nice about Descendants and Zombies. 45 minutes on a podcast Criticizing Descendants doesn't tell me anything about the movie, only that you hated it. And it really broke my heart that people were coming down so hard on Kylie Cantrall because she had the torch passed to her. People were preferring Dove Cameron. The reality of it is Dove Cameron went on so many podcasts after the finale of Descendants. Even in 2025, she recorded an interview where she said that she had told the story and she had completed it. Not only her, but the entire original Descendants cast said goodbye. So here comes Kylie Cantrall with the torch in her hand and so proud to be a Descendants character and one of the most fearless and one of the most strong of all time, inspiring us to stand up to our bullies and what we believed in, and she's been nothing but the victim of criticism. Now, there are millions of people who love Kylie Cantrall, and I want you guys to know that the support is here for you if you want to hear something nice about Kylie Cantrall. And then I hear about how Ruby Rose Turner's had her heart broken for being turned down for various roles in Hollywood that she aspired to be. I want to say this about Ruby. She is the most beautiful person that I have ever had the honor to talk about on a podcast. I have never met Ruby. I would love to meet Ruby, but it has been an honor to be able to sit behind this podcast microphone every night and tell you how much I love Ruby. I want Ruby to know the support is here for her too, and if these Descendant stars want to hear something nice about themselves, perhaps they should Google Jonathan Clarke, because they are tired of Googling themselves and reading all these negative reviews and hearing negative reviews and responses to what they're doing. They have given up their lives to entertain us. So why should we criticize Kylie Cantrall? I don't think there's any room for criticizing Kylie Cantrall and criticism in the conversation. Let's say something nice to Kylie Cantrall. I have this song, See You Tonight, stuck on my head tonight. I will probably blast it on my Bluetooth speaker after I jump off this podcast, so the neighbors will send me a noise complaint. And I really don't care as long as they know who Kylie Cantrall is. I really don't care as long as they know who Ruby Rose Turner is and how beautiful of a soul she is. Because really, Ruby is someone who helps me make sense of life. Each and every one of you are someone who makes me help make sense of life. Because each and every one of you never gave up on me when you very easily could have. You have been my beacon of light out of darkness every single time. I lost my parents at a very young age. My parents thought that one day I would go down in history for being one of the greatest podcasters of all time, more especially my dad. My dad is somebody that I wish each and every one of you could have met. It would have been such an honor for you to have met him, and I think it would have been just as huge of an honor for him to meet you. Because when everybody left me, you guys never quit on this podcast. This podcast pretty much was gone. It was faded off into obscurity, and everybody thought I had told the story and could put it in the words of the Descendants cast and many other varies of entertainment. But you guys, you brought it back from the dead. From seemingly out of nowhere, you brought the voice of Jonathan Clarke back. So that was a huge honor, I guess, for the Descendants franchise, too. Because I've had such a lengthy career, and I've been very fortunate. But one of the greatest honors I've ever had bestowed upon me was getting the opportunity to meet and engage with each and every one of you. Because we share in that same passion. I love Ruby. She's so kind. I wouldn't change a single thing about Ruby Rose Turner. I wouldn't change a single thing. And I would jump at the opportunity just as fast as I could snap my fingers by the light of the sunset this evening to meet Ruby, because she definitely has a heart of gold. I don't have to look inside Ruby's soul to see that heart of gold and to know if it exists, because I know that Ruby has a heart of gold, and I know that she inspires so many people because of it. She's also someone that I love to Photoshop. Because I can Photoshop Ruby so many times over and over again, but I can never illustrate the pure beauty that exists inside of her soul. I can never illustrate the pure beauty that exists inside the soul of Kylie Cantrall. She can sing anything. And if there was a Hannah Montana of this new generation, we're looking at it through the eyes of Kylie Cantrall. And you're hearing that from the biggest Hannah Montana fan in the entire world, in the entire universe, in the entire galaxy. There is not a bigger Hannah Montana fan out there. And I say that because I was so supportive of Miley. And I'm just as supportive, if not more, of Kylie Cantrall. I think there is nothing that Kylie Cantrall can't sing. And I say that because there are so many people who want to have a career in the music industry but just can't get it done. They sing stuff that makes no sense whatsoever, especially these indie bands that make no sense to me whatsoever. I had a lot to do with producing a lot of indie bands on the indie circuit. It wasn't fun. The indie scene was a nightmare that I choose to forget. I have this to say to anybody who wants to be in the same career, the same business as Kylie Cantrall. If you're writing a song, at least write something that makes sense, that puts yourself out there for what you want to be put out there for and portrayed for having been. If you want to be portrayed for being a hero, then put your song out to be portrayed for being a hero and have it make sense. Because there are some people that create these bands and create this music with AI that makes no sense, like these Descendants videos. And there are these people that write these songs with lyrics that don't tell me anything about them. So I immediately shut down the opportunity to produce them or have anything to do with them on the radio for a syndicated podcast or a personally produced podcast such as this one, because nothing they ever do makes sense. But that doesn't mean that if you have a dream, it's not going to come true. If you have a dream of joining the cheerleading squad, if you have a dream of joining the gym, then you should go for it. If you're putting it off to join the gym, I don't think you should. I think you should become a stronger person and aspire to be that stronger person that you envision inside of your mind. If you have a dream of being a princess that's going to be saved by Prince Charming one day from a fire-breathing dragon, then go for it. And that's what this podcast has tried to instill in your mind desperately every single night. Perhaps not desperately, because I like to believe I'm getting through to a lot of people. And I like to believe that you're just as big of a Descendants fan as what I am. Of course, you are a big Descendants fan because you wouldn't be here if you weren't. Either if you were a fan of the original trilogy or this new trilogy, of course, The Rise of Red, which will eventually become a trilogy, because we've seen anything but the final chapter of this, which is why I'm really excited to see what the direction of this will be creatively. I would love to be the director of it, and you guys can help me out with that by hitting the subscribe button. Oftentimes I've questioned the direction of the directors for The Rise of Red, and I've questioned Kenny Ortega's credibility for the original trilogy, because some of the stuff that happened in that didn't make any sense, but that didn't mean it wasn't the greatest of all time, because it surely was. It ultimately became a franchise that saved my life. Do I regret all the hours from sunset till sunrise every night researching Descendants and looking up the favorite things of the stars and the actresses? No, I don't. Every night that I spent till the light of the moon went out of the sky searching up Descendants, I don't regret it, because I learned how much of a passion you guys have for it. I learned how much of a joy is put behind talking about it, which is why these reviews that I see on YouTube all the time really upsets me. The criticism really upsets me because it makes no sense. Obviously, the people who are criticizing it know nothing about it and don't want to take a chance on the stars, what they have to offer, how they're presenting themselves. Kylie is such a phenomenal human being for the connection she has with her fans. One of the things that I give Dove Cameron a lot of credit for is the connection she had with her fans. No matter how much criticism Dove has received for apparently quitting on all of us and giving up on her career, is that she's had this connection with her fans that I don't think any other Descendant star, perhaps with the exception of Sophia Carson, minus the other Descendant stars, has ever had. I don't think I've ever seen Mila Baker have a connection with her fans as much as what Kylie Cantrall has had. Kylie Cantrall goes above and beyond the requirements of any Disney star to connect with her audience, even if it means giving them a personal phone call from time to time on TikTok, which she was going to get banned for a couple of years ago, but she didn't because of the connection with her fans. I have never seen a franchise inspire tens of millions of people as much as this. It's inspired yours truly. It's what brought me back from the proverbial dead. My career was over. You know, professional wrestling wasn't getting it done for me. I wasn't making it as a pro wrestler. I wasn't making it as anything on the internet. I just received a reputation for talking about different genres and niches that I fell into, whether that be horror movies and TV shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Baywatch, Lindsay Lohan's career, which was a disaster in the early thousands. That's what I received popularity for. And in all honesty, I had a whole lot of fun doing it. But I've never had this much fun in all my life. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. I have so many memories of my career, but this career choice, this niche, is forever supportive of me, and I don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. I would sit in my parents' basement every single night, and I would talk about music, I would talk about movies, I would talk about certain niches, and my podcast might get a couple of hundred views, but for some reason, as the years passed, my podcast became more popular from 1999 onward, but it's never been this popular, and for some reason, you guys have made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. You obviously wanted a hero, and you found that hero in me, and I can't thank you enough for that. I have a frog stuck in my throat. Every single night I've got a frog stuck in my throat. Thank you so much for being here and just being a part of something so spectacular. This is incredible. I've had the opportunity to meet so many wonderful fans because of this experience, and I don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. Kylie Cantrall will get the president that she deserves to have. I don't think that Kylie Cantrall should not be able to shut her eyes every night because she's not a Donald Trump supporter. I think Kylie Cantrall can never get enough support from the fans who love her so much. And I say this because I know that people who love Kylie exist out there. And I will say this again tomorrow night on my podcast because I believe in Kylie Cantrall so much. And I love her so much. Her music, everything about her music makes sense. I know she received a lot of criticism for her song Denim. That single was amazing. Every song that Kylie dropped to promote her EP was amazing. And how she went about conducting the PR and being so professional about it was amazing also. Because it is very challenging to promote an album independently, which is what Kylie Cantrall's EP or album, call it what you wish, was promoted as. I've had a hand in producing and promoting a lot of independent artists, and it is very difficult to get yourself recognized. To have that dream to open up for a major name in the music industry. I've seen it happen for very few people. I've seen the best of them come and go. From, late 80s rock stars to early 90s pop stars, I've seen them go. 98 Degrees, the Spice Girls. I had a hand with the Pussycat Dolls reality series years ago. Oftentimes experiences that I choose to forget. But trust in me, I will never forget this experience. And what I mean by that is the opportunity to talk about what you love so much. I think that Ruby Rose Turner, even Meg Donnelly, when you talk about Zombies fame, deserve more of an incredible opportunity to, reintroduce themselves. I think what Ruby should do is definitely put it out there to portray the live-action Rapunzel. I've heard way too much conversation about Sabrina Carpenter donning the role of Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled, and I think you guys deserve something better, something to be excited for, because we hear way too much conversation about Sabrina Carpenter. She's one of the most beautiful and talented artists in the world, don't get me wrong. Songs like Taste and Espresso, I love those songs because it tells me a lot about Sabrina Carpenter, but I think we hear way too much conversation about her just as we do for Taylor Swift. So if we take the conversation away from Sabrina Carpenter being the live-action Rapunzel, which has the greatest chance of becoming a reality by the time the live-action Tangled is picked up with again by Disney, because apparently reportedly it's been put on hold, but I've been reading recent suggestions that report was false and they're picking up production on that again. Let's hope that Ruby gets her name in there for that, and if not, I will produce Ruby Rose Turner's EP because I think Ruby is amazing. I think she's so incredible, and I wish she was here to help me make sense of life. I love Ruby so much, and if you're wondering, the age-old question, if I do believe in magic, the answer to that is yes. I do believe in magic. I believe in the hopes and dreams of any child becoming a reality, and I don't ever want you to hold yourself back from those dreams becoming a realization for each and every one of you. Here's the reality. I always wanted to spread a message of kindness, and you girls have helped me with that so much. Because 95% of the fan base, I know guys are fans of Descendants too, but 95% of the fan base are girls, and you guys have helped me spread a message of kindness in so many unbelievable and unfathomable ways. And I can't thank you enough for that. If I wasn't spreading a message of kindness, then I would feel as if I let myself down, and I would feel as if I let each and every one of you down, and I would feel, more importantly, that I let stars like Kylie Cantrall and Ruby Rose Turner, who are crying themselves to sleep every night for reasons they can't help make sense of, I would feel as if I let them down. It breaks my heart when I hear about how Ruby doesn't want to Google herself because of everything she's seeing and everything she's reading with videos and news articles and stuff on social media. Social media is so horrible to celebrities. I would love to be a celebrity just so I could kick a whole lot of ass. Come to think of it, I would like to be in a nightclub with Kylie Cantrall, and then she'd show me who her ex-man was and point to him, and I would say, "I'll be back in a second, Kylie," and I would just go over to him and vertical suplex him without even saying hi. And then we'd probably get kicked out of the nightclub, but that's how I feel about it. I don't want, and I have no problem vertical suplexing Kylie's man, but because I was a pro wrestler for years. But the thing is, it just breaks my heart because I know you love Kylie Cantrall so much. I know you love Ruby Rose Turner so much because of these characters and this music. It is quite lovely. And every night the sun sets, I can be caught listening to Life is Sweeter When You Are, even back as far as Mirror and Ruby Rock for Disney Voice and Disney Radio. And Kylie Cantrall's music has just always been phenomenal. And her roles on Bizarre, Raven's Home, Gabby Dern in The Unsittables, High School Musical, the series, such iconic roles in iconic TV series, may have been spin-offs, but great. And I think they were just as good as the original, probably even better. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Kylie Cantrall is a way better singer than Dove Cameron. What does Dove Cameron sing anymore that makes any sense? Yes, sure, it makes sense because she wants to represent herself for being someone very different, and very different, without a doubt. But at least Kylie Cantrall's music makes a whole lot of sense, and a whole lot more sense than a lot of stuff I've heard, and I've heard a lot, and I've had a lot to do with music. You know, I was in a relationship with a girl not too long ago, and her biggest dream was to become an aspiring artist, and she was doing everything independently, and she may have uploaded 3 videos on Facebook at one point or another in her life, but it was really heartbreaking to me. It was such a sin because everything that she was writing didn't sound beautiful. It made no sense whatsoever, and I could never tell her that she was never going to make it in the music industry. I thought she was incredibly talented, but she just didn't have the right sound for music. And then I see all these people. You know, she thought so much over herself, but then I see all these people out there trying to make it in the music industry, like Kylie Cantrall, who's doing a phenomenal job, but only has 450,000 people on social media following her. She should have 1 million. She should have 1 million freaking followers. And then there are young girls who are trying to be artists in the world, beautiful, beautiful artists. I interviewed somebody who was 14 years old 25 years ago, and her name was Kristen Nicole, and she did a phenomenal job with every bit of music that she had. She had all these professional videos. She was heading in the right direction, and 25 years after I interviewed her, all she ever wanted to do was work with Taylor Swift. All she ever wanted to do was work with Taylor Swift. And 25 years almost to the day that I interviewed her, I hope that she is making the most out of every opportunity that she has. I haven't spoken to her or her dad. His name was Scott. They were beautiful people. And that was just one example of people in this music industry that should be discovered. And then you have all these people out there that are being discovered who don't deserve to be discovered because they believe they have an ear for music. They believe they can write stuff so incredibly. I don't know, man. My heart's been broken more times than enough because there are so many incredibly talented people out there who should be in the same position of a Kylie Cantrall and getting the same recognition, but it never happens for them. It never happens for them, and these idiots are always getting discovered and always having the spotlight on them. So I just want the Descendants to know that this podcast will always be a beacon of light for them and for anyone else who wants support in this world. Because the message of the Descendants was not to tolerate anything, not to take anything from bullying, not to quit on your dreams. And more people, at least 95% of the people who are fans of Descendants or whoever have said they are fans of Descendants are feeling more encouraged and more inspired now, and I love that. I love every single year, every single time on Halloween when a girl shows up at my door dressed up as their favorite Descendants character, because it sends me behind this computer looking up more fun stuff about the favorite Descendants characters of the people who show up at my door to find out just why they're inspired by it. But I don't even have to look. It's because of the color scheme, because of how beautiful the personalities are, how vibrant they are, how strong they are. So many unbelievable reasons. And that's why I say thank you every single night of this podcast to Kylie Cantrall, Ruby Rose Turner for taking that torch that was passed to them by Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson and making the most of the opportunity. I love Ruby so much, and I miss her. I'm crying myself to sleep every night because I know Ruby's not going to be part of Descendants 5, and man, my heart was shattered in a million pieces. My heart's been broken more times than enough, and more times than I talk about on this podcast, but thankfully I've got all of you guys more times when I felt like I had nobody, and my life was falling apart. At least you guys never quit on me, and you've always been here for me, and, if I were to quit on you, I wouldn't feel as if I accomplished anything at all. So you'll always have me, and you'll always have this podcast, and that's one thing that I can promise you from now until the end of time. Time is the most precious commodity that we have in this world, guys, and we've got to make every moment that we are here on this earth count. And what I mean by that is to help each other with kindness, spread your own messages of kindness, and the best way to perceive yourself is just to be you. I can't tell you how many times during stage productions I have seen so many people who thought they were the shit go out on stage and just blow every single opportunity they had right in front of their eyes. The audience didn't perceive them because they didn't go out and be themselves. They wanted to be something entirely different. I saw that 15 years ago with a disastrous production being the end result. Don't ever think that dreams are not possible, because they are. Because there are just people standing in your way of achieving your dream for somebody who deserves to have that dream achieved rather than taken away from them, which is what happens more times than enough in this world. I want you to know that if you did not achieve your dream today, or the guy that you love so much did not fall in love with you and return that same amount of love, that does not mean that it can't happen tomorrow. And if the guy can't see or value you for who you are and how special you are, then he's missing out on an incredible opportunity, because you are an incredible person. I know this because you have never quit on me, and you deserve to hear nothing but the best about your favorite Descendants stars, and you will hear that from now until the end of eternity, from now until the end of time, and that's a promise I can keep between all of us, because I can remember a time when this podcast had 5 subscribers. I thought this show was going nowhere. Nobody was ever going to listen to it. I didn't recognize the popularity of Descendants, perhaps until 3 years after Descendants had blown up. And now I sit here after coming from 5 subscribers, incredibly, to 3,000 subscribers. Wow. Wow. I can't even put into words how much I appreciate each and every one of you. If there ever was true love in this world, the Descendants franchise is it. And every single night I turn off this microphone, believe you me, I love you so much, and I appreciate you for being here. When you could have quit on me, you didn't. And at least I know when I have nobody, as dust settles down over the world tonight, I have each and every one of you. Be kind to one another, because it goes a long way in this world. And I know I have each and every one of you to exemplify that same amount of kindness, because I trust in you and you trust in me as the voice of Descendants and Zombies. That would be really cool if I was the real voice of Descendants and Zombies, or at least to you guys I am. Thank you so much for that. So with that being said, what do you say we take a look at this Kylie Cantrall interview? It's a beautiful interview. So many beautiful interviews of Kylie Cantrall have been being posted on TikTok over the past couple of days, and I thought this was the perfect time and opportunity to share one with you. So if you get a moment, please hit my subscribe button.
But at first, it had been Nickelodeon. They offered me a holding deal when I was like 11. So it basically meant like I would sign a contract and just like be with them for a couple years until they could figure out like what to do with me.
And potentially nothing, right? Like, it's a risk.
It is such a risk. And, you know, I thought about it for a long time, and my team was really like, you know, they wanted me to do it. It's a big opportunity, and obviously Nickelodeon's huge. And for my age bracket at that time, like, you know, it's really Nickelodeon and Disney, like. So I remember thinking about it long and hard, and I was like, I'm supposed to be with Disney. I just felt it in my gut. I'm such a true Disney girl, and I just had seen it for me since I was little. So I told them, I was like, no, we got to wait for Disney. I know it's coming.
At 11 years old this was?
Yeah.
Wow.
My team was like, what are you doing? I was like, no, we got to wait. So thank God I did that, because I got the show a few probably months after that.
Wait, that's wild.
Yeah.
So when do you realize that Descendants could be a possibility for you in your Disney trajectory? How do they tell you? Did you have to audition with other people, or did they know that you were right for the role?
I did like a Zoom. I mean, the execs, like, they had seen me grow up because, you know, I had been with the channel since I was 12. So I think the cool thing about Disney is, like, once you're in the family, like, you're very much in the family, and, you know, they think of you for other things, and they're always, you know, kind of keeping you in their back pocket, which I think is cool. But after I did the Gabby Duran show, I thought that was it. I was like, okay, cool. I ended the show when I was 15. I signed a record deal that same year, and I was like, cool, I'm just going to, like, focus on music now, and, like, I guess that's it for my Disney journey. And then through the process of me, you know, being a new artist on this label and trying to find my footing, and I had just been in with, like, all these writers and producers, and I still felt like I wasn't, you know, finding my sound yet, and so many cooks in the kitchen telling me, you know, what kind of music I should be making.
Was this your time with, like, L.A. Reid?
No, oh my gosh, that was like years ago. I had done label meetings when I was like 10. I feel like I've lived like 9 lives, I swear.
You definitely have.
Yes, 100%. I feel like I'm so woven in the fabric of like every aspect of the industry since I've been doing it for so long. But no, I got signed to APG.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think I had just turned 16.
Wow.
But I was really frustrated at that point. This was like a year into the deal. And I was just like, ugh, I feel like, I know I have a vision for myself. I know the kind of music I want to make, but there's, so many politics in music as well, especially as a new artist. You do so much to kind of make the label happy and make other people happy. And I was just kind of like, ugh, I don't know what to do right now with my music. And kind of around that same time, Disney had circled back and they were like, hey, Kylie, like, we're doing a new season of High School Musical, the series. Like, there's this really cool part for you. You get to sing on it. And I was like, cool. Like, maybe I should go back and try Disney one more time. Maybe it's not the end of the journey. And also, I had been so frustrated with kind of the label side of things, also with, like, the music videos. Like, I think we are in a weird time in music where, labels don't see videos as valuable as they used to be. Which I get, but that's also the reason I became an artist, because
music videos.
I'm obsessed with music videos and the visual aspect and telling those stories through visuals, especially as a dancer. Like, I just want to make videos where I can dance. And I was like, well, if I go back to acting, I can use this money to fund my own videos. So I think that was also something that people don't know. I feel like people think like, yeah, but that's the realistic part of it. And when Descendants also came around, that was after I had done High School Musical, and the execs were like, hey, we're bringing back Descendants. Like, we'd love for you to read for it. And that's when I was like, oh, shoot, like, this is a huge deal, huge pressure, but, like, I'd love to read for it. I thought the character was sick. To play the daughter of the Queen of Hearts would be so cool. There's never been a daughter of the Queen of Hearts.
Rita Ora is your mom?
Rita Ora is my mom,
Icon.
which is sick.
So Kylie was 11 when she turned down the offer from Nickelodeon. I was 9 years old. That was in 1995. Nickelodeon sent me an email offering me a contract to write one of the episodes for the very first season of Incredible Story Studio. Camila Devine was very inspired by some of my work in the professional wrestling industry and enamored over the fact that I was a wrestling fan, and offered me a one-time deal to do some work with Incredible Story Studio, and it was an experience that I will never, ever forget. But how Nickelodeon treated their stars, I don't... I really would never do anything with Nickelodeon ever again. It was such a disastrous experience, and I can understand why Kylie Cantrall would have turned down the offer from Nickelodeon, and to be honest with you, I'm really happy that she did, because Nickelodeon was full of nothing but false promises. They lied to a lot of people, and my heart goes out to everybody who ever worked with Nickelodeon. While some of you got rewarding experiences and had the time of your life with Nickelodeon, if your name wasn't Victoria Justice, you weren't going anywhere. And I let Nickelodeon know how I felt about that years after I was released from contract. But I'm here tonight with each and every one of you. I love you, Amanda Bynes, by the way. I hope you're doing okay. I'm here with each and every one of you, and there's no place in the world I would rather be than sitting behind this podcast microphone with each and every one of you tonight, talking about Descendants and Zombies. This has been one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and a experience that I will never, ever forget. Thank you so much for finding my videos every single night on your journey through the woods, searching up Descendants and Zombies videos. I know there are hundreds of these videos uploaded, and thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. To be honest with each and every one of you, I don't know if Disney is going to honor me. If they do, it'll probably be after I'm dead and gone, but at least I have each and every one of you carrying on my legacy and carrying that torch for me, which is such an honor to know. I love all of you so much, and I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you. Thank you so much for making me a part of your lives, your family's lives. You as a fan of Descendants and Zombies, which I see nothing wrong with. I think it is really, really cool. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It leaves me at a loss for words every single time. So I will come back tomorrow night with another video for you guys themed around Descendants or Zombies. How does that sound? I will be here every opportunity I get, almost every night, on this podcast for you, because I know how much you love Descendants and Zombies, and I know how much you love Kylie Cantrall. I love you, Ruby, dearly. I don't know how they're going to do Descendants 5 without you, but hopefully we can work something out if they make me the director of Descendants or Zombies, which can happen if you guys hit that subscribe button and bring Jonathan Clarke back. If you can bring Justin Timberlake back, you can bring me back. Thank you guys so much. With that being said, Jonathan Clarke has left the building. Bye, YouTube. Let's go spread some kindness. I will see you again tomorrow night.